Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome students. This is for the class 4th and we are reading the chapter Plants Living and Surviving. And so far we have read about different kinds of plants and the different kinds of adaptations of plants living in different kinds of habitats. And today we are going to read one more topic from the same chapter, that is rainforests. Students, first of all we will see what is a rainforest and why such a forest is called as a rainforest. Students, rainforests are the forests which receive maximum amount of rainfall. They are found mostly near the equator, and most rainforests exist in the parts of Asia, Africa, Australia, and South America. Now we have to see what kind of plants are present in a rainforest. Students, rainforests contain both tall and short trees. The plants like climbers and creepers are also present in the rainforests. The ground of a rainforest is covered with ferns, leaves, and fungi. And also a wide variety of animals are present in a rainforest. Students, it is being said that majority of the world's animals are present in these rainforests, and also a lots of species are still undiscovered that are present in rainforests. So these rainforests are having a great importance. Moving towards insectivorous plants. Students, what are insectivorous plants? These are the plants that eat insects. That is, they have their food in the form of insects. And those plants are called as insectivorous plants. Some examples of insectivorous plants are Drosera, Flytrap, and Nepenthes. Nepenthes commonly called as pitcher plant. You can see the diagram of pitcher plant over your books. This is an insectivore plant. Students, pitcher plant catches insects on its special leaves. As you can see on your books, here if an insect sticks over this place, what happens? This pitcher plant traps it inside. The insect gets broken down and gets digested in the plant body. Thus, the plant gets its food, and those plants that have their food in the form of insects are called as insectivorous plants. Students, there is one more plant which is called as sundew. You can see over your books, this is sundew. What adaptation has sundew adapted so as to have an insect its food? Students, a sundew plant has smaller hair over its entire surface, and these hairs are very much sticky. When an insect sits on this leaf, that is sundew, it gets stuck on its surface. The hair then closes, entrapping the insect inside its body, and thus the plant gets the food that it needs. These were the examples of insectivorous plants. Another example of insectivorous plant includes Wien's Flytrap. It's known as Wien's Flytrap. On your books, you can see, students, that a Wien's Flytrap has leaves with two flaps, each having long teeth-like structures. When an insect sits on the leaf, what happens? The leaf flaps close and they trap the insect inside. Inside the leaf cells produce juices which digest the insect present inside, and thus the plant gets its food. Now we will talk about one more category, that is non-green plants. There are some plants that are not green in color. Students, they are not green because they do not have the pigment that is chlorophyll. We have already talked that green plants contain chlorophyll, but these are the examples of plants that are non-green, and if they are non-green, that means they are not having chlorophyll. Students, the examples of such plants includes mushrooms and molds. Now a question arises that if they do not contain chlorophyll, how can they make their food? Students, they usually absorb food from the dead plants and animals, and that is why they are called as saprophytic plants. Why? Because they obtain their food from the dead plants and animals, and they do not contain chlorophyll, and such plants are called as saprophytic plants. That means they obtain their food from the dead plants and animals. Now the last topic of the chapter: what are the uses of plants? Students, we all know that plants are having uncountable uses. Number first one, we all depend on plants for food. Like we every day eat rice. Why from that comes from plants. We have teas, coffee, cocoa beans, etc. These are all the products of plants. Number second use, cotton and jute. Like they are used for making clothes, and the different kinds of clothes that you wear, they are actually coming from the plant products. Students, there are some soaps and shampoos that contain vegetable oils, and that vegetable oil is also obtained from the plants. Students, the large buildings are made and the wood comes from trees. Like we make windows, doors and furniture, and that wood comes from actually these plants. Students, the important use of plants: some plants are having medicinal values. Plants like tulsi, and you might have heard about neem, that neem is having antibacterial properties. That is why these plants are used as medicinal plants, and thus this is an important use of plants, that they are used as medicines. Students, one more use: the juice of kikar tree is used for making gum. This was all about plants living and surviving. Thank you.